are live. No intros needed. All right. So obviously things are a little different today. Chris, our production manager, he is out on vacation. So he had Madison stepping in that just said to wing it. Let's go.
Madison said, hey, let's just start, whether we're ready or not. I like it.
Good let's stuff. Go. Yeah, bear with me as I'm dealing with a slight head cold or some crud. But
I'll take it easy.
Fear not. I have drugs.
I like that just the 2-packs. There's only 2 pills in there.
No, I've already taken 2. I came down this morning and I'm like in a fog. We're in Philadelphia, somewhere outside of Philadelphia. Where are we at? Where are we at?
We're in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Altoona, Pennsylvania. I landed in Philadelphia late last night, and Chelsea and I drove for 4 hours. I'm not going to say for lack of planning, but for lack of planning. I drove for 4 hours. I go to sleep, wake up. Dude, Mike called me. Dude, are you not going to run with me this morning? And I was like, oh, shit, what day is it? And so I come to the hotel lobby, and I'm like, I need drugs quickly. And so anyways, neither here nor there. We're all hopped up on Dayquil and managing to have a show today. What is speaking of shows, what is our show today, Nick?
Justin, I think we're just gonna sort of wing it like we usually do.
Okay, winging it.
You know what kind of came to mind? Is I know, right? The elephant in the room, you've been traveling a lot. You know what I mean? We're not getting our usual backdrop. You know what I mean? We're not we're seeing you at different places. I don't know. Oh, there goes someone just walking behind you.
Somebody random walking through our shot.
When you're doing all this traveling and you're going to these different detail shops, what are some of the things, right? Because everyone's in their own bubble and they don't know what they don't know. But you're getting this opportunity and you're seeing a lot of different things, good things, bad things. You're right, not getting into specific shops. What are these common factors of greatness that you're seeing in some of these successful shops? And what are some of the same issues that you're seeing in these shops, whether it's an Aegis training, whether it's an IGL training session? I think you start there.
Yeah, no, that's a great place to start, Nick. When you're going from shop to shop, like obviously you're always looking for like ways that people do things that are more efficient. Or I'm always looking at organization. Where are their products, where are their tools in relation to where they do the work at. And I personally am always trying to pick up ideas for our shop. I'm always looking to see like who's got the best idea. And I tell you, I went to a shop recently, and I'm just drawing a blank on where it was. And they had, I know a lot of people know how to do this, but it was news to me. But they take the power washer pistol grip, and they have the receiving end bolted to the wall, and they would quick connect the handles into the wall.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of just hanging there. And then all the tips were done the same way. And I thought that was a really cool way to keep things organized and keep them readily available. So that was a neat thing. But one of the common things I see is like, a lot of these detail shops are just a couple guys, just to see, owner operator. And, and that's
you would say, right, on these travels, are you saying most of them are 5 and under employees?
Oh, yeah, or 2 and under.
2 and under.
Under. Yeah, it's quite surprising. I mean, most of these shops we're going to is owner operator. And, I know it's extremely common in our industry, but you got to think, when we talk about scaling and building a business and growing a business, I think that is the first hurdle that most detailers struggle with is how do I grow past just me being in the shop? How do I get past that point? And, there's a lot
more than you thought. Is it more to employee businesses than you thought maybe going in?
Yeah, especially when you think about going to trainings and people welcoming you into their shop. You'd think that typically that was a bigger shop or but no, it's usually just them or them and a couple of helpers, and they're shutting their shop down for that day. Which is really important. I mean, extremely hospitable though. Like they just want us to come in and it's really nice. Usually the setup's good. They got tables and chairs and a TV and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's not like they have these huge crews. Like when we think about our shop, right, and we're setting up for our shop, we have our guys running and getting tables and cleaning chairs and, and everybody's doing things, and we have people set up to help. And, but when we go into typically, I'd say 90% of these other shops, it's just It's the owner operator, and they're having to shut their shop down a day early to set up, or have the wife come in and prepare lunch or whatever. It's really cool.
Those are the best lunches. I think those are
probably absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, do you get a common sense that they want to be able to get from 2 to 5, or is it something where they have that balance and it's a passion, right? Best detailer in the world is where do you sort of see that their goals are set, right? When you're doing a training and you're investing in your business, what are those business owners saying to you at those trainings of where they want to go?
Everybody wants it, but nobody has the right mindset to get it. And the mindset is the best detailer. It's like it's a me thing, and what do I do and what can I do? And instead of, in order to grow past yourself, you have to be willing to not be the best person in the room, best detailer in the room. And even if you are, you still shouldn't be, and you should be training. And this is what I'm trying to pump down everybody's throat, is like, listen, it doesn't make you the best detailer in the room for you to only be the best detailer in the room. What makes you the best detailer in the room is to be able to train somebody to be the best detailer in the room. If you can train somebody to be better than you truly are the best. And that's what we focus on a lot in our shop, is how can each one teach one, and that's with every position all the way around. It doesn't stop at the detail shop. I'm a numbers guy. I don't hide behind that. But if I'm not showing Chelsea how to do something in the books or accounting or whatever, or Trisha, and if I'm not teaching along the way, if I'm just showing you, here's why, do it this way, then I'm not making them great, and then they can't solve their own problems. There's no pride in me being the only one that knows these things. And so when, speaking to detailers, I mean, that's typically what happens in these shops, is you got this guy that's just become great at what he does. And, it's a prideful thing, and he wants to be the only person in that shop that can do that thing. And, that makes no mistakes and all. And so,
well, the industry's constantly changing, and you know what I mean? And you want to try and scale and train, and all of a sudden you're going to start doing ceramic coatings, PPF, tint. If you're trying to go mobile, add a second store, learning how to do those things when you're small, right? You got more room for error. You know what I mean? It's one thing if there's two of you and one person doesn't show up. Well, I'm guessing you can still knock out the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is something that I think is really important for some detailers to try and focus on a little bit.
Yeah. I had a good friend of mine text me yesterday, Drake Roberts, Drake Mobile Detailing. Most of y'all know him probably from YouTube. And we were chatting about some things, and he said, man, I just got to know. He said, what do you do when your guys tear something up? When they tear up when they tool or tear up something on a boat? And I said, well, the first thing you do is you got to have, they need to understand that they're not going to be in trouble or reprimanded at the level of they're scared to tell you. Because when they start to hide things, that's when it becomes a problem. If a customer finds something broken, then it looks like you tried to hide it and you didn't, you were doing them wrong by not trying to fix it, right? So you want to set the tone for your detailers, the people working with you, that if something breaks, tell me about it. Obviously if it's malicious or malintent, like, come on, like there may be a time where you would ask them to pay for it. But generally speaking, I would say 95% of the time, our company takes care of any damage. Probably 99% of the time, our company takes care of anything that's damaged, because they're not trying to tear something up. They're just, something breaks because you're working on it.
It's just the cost of business.
It's the cost of doing business. If you force them to pay for it, I mean, you're already setting the tone for them next time. I'm not saying nothing because I don't have the money to pay for it. And in reality, we want to know. As an owner, I want to know if something happened so I can make that right with the customer.
And you know what's funny is, for us, we just, the transparency model. You know what I mean? We're going to say, hey, look, let's say they're missing a decal or a letter on there. You know what I mean? First thing I do is like, hey, relax. Let's go check the cameras. I haven't seen them. You haven't seen them. We got cameras high def at every angle. You're going to be able to see everything. And then all of a sudden they see it pull in without the letter, and they're sitting there with their pants down. You know what I mean? But how they conduct it and how we handle the situation is always calm, cool, and collected. And we're going to say, hey, look, you're right. Let's go look at it together. It's not a pointing your finger sort of situation. And it's definitely not a pointing your finger situation with the employees.
Absolutely.
It's a thing where you want to make sure, hey, something happened. Hey, did you guys see if that was off? Man, I really don't know. I didn't notice anything come off. Let me know if you see anything. You know what I mean? And it is that communication.
Yeah, we had an incident last week where it was like this Disney World annual pass, and it was stuck to the side of the car, right? And the lady's like comes in and she says it's gone. You know, it was supposed to be here. It's like $1,200.
Those are collectible. Those are very expensive. Yeah.
I was like, no problem. We'll see. And I kept asking the guys, were like, what's on the cars? What's on the car? There was two of them, one on each side, one on the window, one on the thing. And so I'm like, man, what's going on? This lady had me convinced that we had messed something up. So I finally go check the cameras. And lo and behold, what the car came in with is exactly what the car left with. Yeah. So I don't know if there was something else. And we passed that on to the customer. Said, here's the befores.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hang on. Here's the befores. And here's where you see these two things. And here are the afters. And, it's just part of our cover, your CYA to make sure that customer has what they're, excuse me.
Oh, well, he's there coughing up a lung. We had a situation where there was a customer that had a magnet on the back of their truck. And we washed the car just like any other car. And you can tell this car was super muddy, right? And it had a bunch of stuff. And you don't know what's on the other side of that magnet, but we washed the car. Magnet moved maybe 2 inches, right? Yep. And it swirled up the paint a little bit on the backside. Did we feel like we did anything negligent or no? Right. But we're going to make a big deal with the customer. It take us 30 seconds to polish it out. Hey, look, we're going to take care of this for you. Should we be responsible for your accessories on your car being dirty on the back end? There's a risk that they're going to move. And if they move, you got sand and rocks and whatnot behind it. There's really not much we can do. But just the way you handle it, making sure that they leave happy is top priority.
That's it. And if it's something simple, take care of it. If it's something simple or hey, this moved and scratched up a little bit, we can polish it out. Just do it. Just handle it. Handle it ahead of time and don't make a big deal out of it. And you can always say, hey, here's what happened. We took care of it. This is what's going on. But don't make a big deal out of it. A lot of times customers don't even realize those things or don't even see those things. But you just, you don't make a big deal. You just downplay it and take care of the things. And don't argue with the customer. Don't sit there and argue with them. Like when you start to do that, they get defensive, and then it's an attack game.
Yeah.
Then it's let me see what else you didn't do or what else you did, and that's the name of the game is to de-arm and defuse and say, hey, look, we're gonna make this right. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. We're gonna check the cameras. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. This is a normal process for us. We're not here to tear your stuff up. We're here to make it better, not worse. And so
everyone says the same thing. We're trying to do a good service for good people. You know what I mean? And as soon as you start training people to be able to handle those situations, your life gets even easier, man. Because it's not, you know what I mean? Like whether you give them a gift card for a letter they got to order, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's just none of it is big. Nothing matters in the grand scheme of things there. My other question I had for you with the travel, right? Let's tie all the way back. As you're going into these different cities, different demographics, different cars, is there anything else that you're sort of seeing of, hey, everyone's chasing those Instagram cars, right? Everyone wants to do a yacht, right? As you're going and doing these trainings and talking with these other people, what are the shops that are achieving that level?
It's the ones that are marketing to it, the ones that are positioning their marketing to bring that clientele in. And, it's a high end, small niche market that serves that. And, you gotta build relationships with those people. And, alongside the marketing piece of it it's a relationship building aspect. And, it's it definitely is not as prevalent as you would think. I mean, those people get a lot of attention. That's the only thing
people see, right? On Instagram.
The
nicest car, right? Everyone's posting a Cybertruck right now. Everyone's posting the Lamborghini. They're not posting the Camry.
They're not posting the minivans, but they're all doing minivans. I mean, the wheels got to go around, and there's only so many of the supercars that are going to get detailed in your shop, and the rest of them are going to be your, typically your SUVs or 2500s or whatnot. That's what we do a ton of. I mean, we do some very, very nice vehicles and very nice boats, but we're just like anybody else. I mean, we have the average SUVs and trucks rolling through our shop on a daily basis, and then once a month something comes in that's just knock your socks off, or $1 million boat or something like that, which is cool. It's fun. We always take that opportunity to get a marketing video out of it, and but marketing to that clientele is unique. One thing that one area of focus that EZN is shifting towards is LinkedIn, and we've been on LinkedIn before, but we're shifting a heavy focus towards that. We feel like we have a heavy presence on EZN. We do some Instagram, but what we really want, and we have a heavy presence in Google. I mean, Q Kenny Chesney. I'm sorry, I saw a comment. You don't see the comments. I should add them. So we just we want to spend some time on LinkedIn. We feel like our customer base.
So break that down for the people listening, right? So you want to have that presence on LinkedIn. Did you have one existing already, or were you starting from scratch?
So we had I had my personal LinkedIn that we had somewhat of a presence that we used to post to. But we started from scratch for EZN as a business account.
Yeah.
And we're starting to post. We're getting our general posting, like branding out there. And then we're going to start running ads and start really chasing that LinkedIn crowd. Because we feel like that's where the professionals are going to sit. That's where maybe the higher end customers are going to be sitting. And so we want to, that's where we want to target it. I'll tell you what else we're doing right now.
Now, are you guys doing that in-house?
Yeah. Madison and Brooke handle all of our marketing and all, and they do a fantastic job. I'll tell you what else. Another area of focus. This is something that we shifted away from and for a while, and that was the show scene. So car shows and boat shows. Obviously we own our own boat show, so we were there every year. But we came away from. We used to do Mobile and Biloxi and the other local boat shows. Well, as thank you, Madison. Yeah, add these comments. I don't know how to do it. There's some good ones in there. I haven't recently played with the idea of LinkedIn as well. Yes, jump on there, Scott. So one thing we want to do, get back in the show scene, and if the car, like when I say car shows, like do I think that like our target audience are the show cars? No. But do I think that everybody comes to a car show owns a show car? No, these are car enthusiasts that just want to get out for the weekend. Well, car enthusiasts generally care about their own car, whether it is an SUV or minivan.
The average person.
Yeah, so it's a target-rich environment. And so this is something that since Ben and Rob's my sales manager and Ben's the shop manager, since they have a ton of interest in the car show realm, I've committed to making sure that they are going to be at these car shows and boat shows going forward. And it helps a ton with brand exposure and relationship building as well. So these are things that we're doing because let's be real. The economy has shifted a little bit and selling isn't as easy as it was 2 years ago. It's a harder sell. We're having to work to fill the schedule up just like everybody else is. But we can't just keep doing the same old things that we've been doing and just say, oh, well, I guess the economy's slow and we're just going to, deal with it. No, we're going to go after the business. We're going to go do the things that we know that made us great to begin with.
Well, and I think like what you're saying is you're doing it on all fronts, right? Mm-hmm. You're also trying new things while doing what works, and you're hitting it from all angles, which I think is really interesting. The one thing I'll touch on with someone's checking out, someone's late for checkout. In terms of what we do for the groups and the shows, right? We partner with the Corvette Club, of our community, the Jeep Club. You know what I mean? Those are also just those tight-knit groups of people that really love their cars. And when they need to a lot of them do their own cars. When they're in those groups and they're in the car shows, they like doing their own cars, right? Whether it's an educational aspect where they're like, great, I polished it last time. I kind of want you guys to polish it this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I want to ceramic coating on there. And it's all long tail. It's all building those relationships, building that
Absolutely.
trust.
Absolutely.
I spoke at one of the shows about a year ago, and we're seeing those people. Hey, you talked with us last year. Would love to get a coating on for this summer. You're going to see those dividends, see that payback. Years.
And those things validate you as a company. And when someone sees you at a show and they see that you spent money and it's well branded and you're well spoken, they may not use you right then. They may not schedule a job right then, but the next time they interact with you, they remember that. They remember your willingness to be out there and have conversations and put yourself in front of people and put your money up to get into a show. I think we paid a couple $1,000 to get in this last one, and that's just the cost of the show. That has nothing to do with the cost of the travel and all that. So there's an expense associated with it. However, being there validates you. relationships aren't short money, but the long money is worth it.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah,
there.
no question about it, but that's the things that we're going to have to do. And let me tell you something else that we're working on. And when I say this, we've regained. I mean, we've had to reintroduce a lot of focus into the detail because it's just not coming as easy as it used to. But it's our retention efforts after the sale. This is something that I am heavily believing in our customer cycle. We were doing less than a great job of retaining. We had a great retention percentage, but we were applying no efforts to get it. Like basically, like come back when you get ready. Well, now we'll
be here. We're ready for you.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine when business is full steam ahead. But when you start to slow down, think about when it's full steam ahead. If you have retention efforts going on constantly to bring those back, because you're only going to pick up so many percentage of them off of those efforts. But
think of it like if like you said, if that are you they were going to book, let's say once a year, right? Is it something where you're trying to get them in? You know what? There's a special. Can we entice them to come in 8 months? Right.
That's right.
So in 24 months, they come 3 times versus 2. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that's something that has to be talked about a little bit of saying, hey, can our services be marketed for our yearly detail customer? Some guys only do it every 2 years. Maybe they're 6 months. But can we have the right efforts to have them come in, a 4 and a 6 month instead of a 6 and a 6? And then over time, that starts to multiply where you're getting an extra visit every 2 years from that customer.
Absolutely. And then you mix in the referral campaign where you're saying, hey, okay, you got your vehicle done. You know how great it was. Why don't you refer a friend, or why don't you send the wife or send the husband in for a detail? Now you're turning that one customer into 2. So now you take a once a year customer into a twice a year customer, and you take one customer into 2 or 3, and now you've taken one customer and you've grown it by 5-6x. And it's like, these efforts make sense when you start to slow down, because let me tell you something, customer retention, and I'll preach this a lot, is customer retention is it's cheaper to keep them than it is to go get new ones. I'm fighting the urge to say what I normally say there, but I'm not going to say it. But no, acquiring customers, when you're trying to market out to a new audience or to an audience and get a new customer, it's a lot of work. We're doing car shows, we're doing LinkedIn, we're doing Facebook, we're doing Google Ads, we're doing all this stuff, billboards to get these customers in the door, for 2 or 3% of the people that come in. Yeah. Once they do business with you, they know how you're going to do business. They know how you charge. They know, they're your customer. Yep. They're happy with you and what you've done. It is a much easier sell, and it's much cheaper on the back side of things. So that retention effort is important, and it does sound like a great opportunity for a CRM. That's where a CRM will truly, truly help.
Well, think of it like this. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. When they come the very first time, they don't have that trust. They don't know who Dustin is. He's like, why is he never here? Why is he in Pennsylvania? I talked to him on the phone, right?
Yeah. You're right.
They do just an entry level detail. You know what I mean? Like they do just the lowest package because they're like, oh, let me try this place out. It could have been great, but if you don't have that follow up to say, hey, we did this, next time, try this. Here's a referral code and you'll get $10 off. However you want to market it, and they've built that trust. Well, now you're going to have 2 jobs, 2 tickets, twice the revenue on that same customer, and you're not putting all that effort into a new customer.
Well, that's exactly
what are you working on over there?
Hot tamale, dude, I'm dying. My throat's killing me.
Oh, I had to have something. We hit minute 24, and all I can hear is just the chew of a hot tamale in the background.
Hang on, I'll swallow it. No, what you're saying too is every time we get a new customer in the door, we assign $1 to that customer. That's what that customer costs me to get in the door. Whether all of my marketing,
it all gets divided. Yeah,
the sum of that is divided by the number of customers that were generated that week. So however much dollars I spent that week divided by how many new customers I created that week, that's called a customer acquisition cost. So typically it's like $10 to $15 for us, right?
Yep.
And it ranges, from week to week. But say call it $15. If that customer then comes back through a retention effort that costs me nothing and does business again, well, now at $15 turns into whatever, $7.75 or 7.50. Okay.
Yeah.
Then if they come back through retention efforts again, it keeps going more and more. So, next thing you know, you're down to $1 or $2 a customer. So every time that customer does business with you, you're dividing the cost out. You're not having to spend dollars to get that customer back in the door.
Yeah. On those marketing sides, because again, that content creation is the hardest part. You're talking LinkedIn, you're talking Facebook, you're talking Instagram. Are you guys, right? And I'll throw this down Madison, right? Are you guys doing that same content and across all three? Or are you guys differentiating? Because if you're differentiating, the effort that goes into that for a 1 or 2 person shop, I don't think that can get just blown over. We put the same piece of content everywhere when we do a post.
Yeah.
And I'm just being honest.
Yeah. And we do mostly that as well. We shouldn't.
No, I don't.
Every platform should have content that's catered specifically to it.
To those customers. Yeah.
They really should. But it's real. Yeah. And how much effort are you really going to spend? So when we talk about efforts, like our Instagram, basically it's just, it's just shot up there, right? We're not spending a whole lot of efforts in there. When we talk about this new LinkedIn efforts, it's absolutely going to have specific content. Right now, it's just posting the same content, but when we go to create ads and run ad campaigns, it's all new content.
The landing page
for that. Yeah. So, but here's the reality. As a single person shop or a 2 or 3 person shop, you don't need to be on 10 different platforms. You can't manage it, and so you're not going to do it effectively anyway. You really can find 1 or 2 that you can run effectively and probably get enough business in the door through that 1 outlet or 2 outlets to satisfy a 3 or 4 person shop. Our shop's bigger than that. We have to keep the top of the funnel full. We're trying to do 25,000, 30,000 a week. Okay. So we have to keep the number. We kind of create, we're looking for 30 customers a week, new customers.
Those are cute numbers. Those are not bad. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they are cute.
Yeah. What I was going to also add to that is if you're that 1 person shop and you're going to do like that Facebook business suite and you're going to create that 1 piece of content and chop it up, if you have that rain day, you have that slow day, and you're able to schedule out those 30 days in advance. So when you're working, you've got your marketing effort working for you as if it's its own employee. Don't just because Dustin's doing LinkedIn and you don't have, you're like, crap, that makes a lot of sense. There's a bunch of business professionals there, right? That seems like a market I want to cater to, but I'm doing Facebook and Instagram. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean to drop what you're doing, try and do a whole new marketing plan. See where you can effectively insert that. And if it's the same exact piece of content for now, at least you're adding that out there.
At least you have something out there. Yeah. And look, I'll be honest with you, for us to make decisions like that, like this isn't just some like, oh, today we're going to go chasing LinkedIn. It's taken us months to say, okay, this is where we're going to shift focus. This is where we're going to, this is what we're going to do. We build out the marketing plan. We have all of our shit, ducks in a row to get things done. I mean, coming back to these events, and we had to have new, a new setup and all that. So these things don't just happen. And we have a huge team. We have a very big team to help with it. So don't feel like, well, like you said, like, well, Dustin's doing this thing. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. You need to do what's right by you.
You jump on these podcasts and Dustin just stresses me out. I'm like, crap, I got to go do LinkedIn. Thanks a lot. He's over there eating hot tamales. I got to be on LinkedIn.
That hot tamale fixed my throat, though. I'm telling you that right now. I thought I was going to die. Man. I tell you, it was, I woke up this morning, this is rough. So, but no, look, it's all relative. We do have a big team that helps us out. And, and I've always, put a lot of thought into our marketing. And, I like, to me, I'm always looking for the next best thing. And, and sometimes where you're at's where you need to be. And
when you're busy as shit, right? And you've got all these ideas, because everyone does. Right. But when it's time to work, it's time to work. And then when you have that time to do those things for the long tail and for that growth opportunity, that's when you can really dive in and test stuff and say, hey, be budgeting a little bit of money so there's some trial and error. You're going to run some on LinkedIn, that are going to be like, man, that was a bust.
No, big time. And you got to prioritize, what's most important. Like if your shop slammed in Trello board. Yeah. If you saw our Trello, you'd just die.
I got one last question for you, Dustin. A little birdie told me you're at an Aegis training. Am I mistaken?
No, that's correct. We're at Aegis training.
So let me ask you this. With that Aegis training, with those detailers coming in, right? Are they, or would you say that they're mostly detailers wanting to learn Aegis, or is this a completely just separate group of people coming in wanting to learn Aegis?
This one specifically is mostly detailer.
Now, is it something where they're wanting, right? Like you said, they're mostly 1-2 person shops and they want to add Aegis. But if they haven't been able to scale their business of their detailing side, is it something where they're looking to say, hey, look, I want to go make this money? There's the Trello. Look how it's just in outer space.
Yeah, man. So this is what organization.
That's where all of Dustin's hopes and dreams are, right here.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot. Every one of these cards represent work that's coming up or work.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
What is that feedback you're seeing from the detailers wanting to add Aegis into their product line or their service offerings?
I'm sorry, say that again. What was the question?
What are you seeing from what are detailers telling you of how they want to implement Aegis into their service offerings?
Oh man, I think everybody's you want me to be honest with you, I think everybody's grasping at straws a little bit on it. They're wanting to try to figure out where they fit. I think that detailing as a whole, especially ceramic coatings and the higher end services, is leveling off a little. And so everybody's kind of looking for that next best thing. And Aegis definitely falls into that category. Here's the reality of it, though. It is a new industry, we're serving something different than we typically serve as a detailer. Yeah. I mean, there are applications that work for, just the detail shop, like undercoatings and things like that. I mean, even in the marine side, we're noticing some cool things with pontoons and boats. So there's some applications that it was not designed for, but we're seeing, some success there. But when you think about a detailer coming to an Aegis class and where they're going to go with it, and is like, it has zero to do with the detailing industry. And I think that the ones that come in there and take it serious and really look for opportunities, they realize quickly that it's not, in their shop. It's a whole nother business. And let's be real. That's why ECN, we've done some things with Aegis. We've done quite a few things with Aegis actually, but we keep it inside the detail side of things. We don't have the resources and the manpower right now to do an about shift and go chase the industrial market. Now we're we just had a huge order come out of Texas for Aegis for some guys that are doing some heavy equipment down there, and I mean it's just it's big. And so
are they showing up at these trainings like the Scrooge McDuck with the dollar signs in their eyes?
Yes, you know what I mean? Absolutely. But what you have to realize is those big dollars is a different market, and you have to change the way part of our training is saying, hey, everything you know about detailing, shelf that shit, because you're fixing to learn a whole new industry and a whole new market and a whole new product. It has nothing to do with detailing. It literally has nothing to do with detailing.
But that's the thing that I'm trying to get my mind around and sort of get in the mind of the other detailers is, are you prepared when you're going to this training to say, hey, I'm going to now create a new LLC, new page, you know what I mean? Am I able to be mobile and cater to these Aegis while still doing a detail shop? Or, I know some Aegis, installers that are, the detailing is almost like second now. It's just it's like, hey, we're pushing these Aegis jobs because that's where the growth is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like there's a small percentage of these detailers that are showing up at Aegis that actually do something big with it, because it is different. And I don't mean that to discourage anybody from coming. I sure don't mean that, because there's opportunities in the detail side of things with Aegis. However, the ones that really are taking and doing something with it are it's a small percentage that are saying, hey, I understand that this is a whole different market and I'm going to create another LLC and I'm going to go run this as a business. And then detailing is second to that. And there's a whole slew of them that are doing that. And it's amazing to see. But just to let everybody understand that ECN's on that same level as the 90% that have came. It's like, hey, we're going to use it at the shop. We're doing like top caps of bass boats. We're doing pontoon boats that's working really well for them, and we're using it as we can within our.
You're not adjusting your business, but where can it be a complementary piece versus a primary?
Exactly, and so and especially up north where people are doing a lot of undercoatings and stuff. In South, I've never even done an undercoating. I don't even know what that consists of. But I know that Aegis is a really good product for that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just thought I'd tie it in a little bit with an IGL Aegis topic there.
Yeah, that's right, man. Cool. Love the shout out there.
we made it. We made it on this Friday. You're a little sick.
Woo, yes.
Part of the country, and we put on a show for the people.
Yeah, we did. It came together. It was a good show. So, man, appreciate you as always, and love the guests tuning in. I'm watching the steady run of comments over here. I don't know how to get them over to the main screen. Maybe Madison can drop them over there for us. No Mike today. See Tyler. Dustin is tight-lipped for my liking. What? We need to pop a Joel type. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I look. That's not my job. I'm the Jeff, and Mike's the Joel.
Okay. Have Mike jump in real quick. Have him say hi.
I think he's over on the phone. Mike, come over here. He's across the lobby, dude. We turn our look. This is what we do when we travel. If you want to see what it looks like, hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me do that.
There's the trellis.
We turn the lobby into a straight up office. Everywhere we go, dude.
You don't ask. You don't ask either.
Hell no. I don't ask for
laptops.
nothing.
Take all the chargers. Once you take the chargers, it's yours.
Yeah, I don't ask for anything. Dustin doesn't tell me anything. I don't even know what's going on. No, you don't need to know what's going on, Madison. Y'all think too much. You think too much. See, if I don't tell you, then you don't think about them. That's tell you when it's like when it's due, and it's like when it's due tomorrow. That's when I like to tell Madison. Hey, Madison, don't forget we got this thing. What thing? Oh yeah, it's this thing that's gonna due tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh.
You're gonna see a lot of tractors when you come see me. Tate and Trout. God, I know. I feel like he's like I know he feels like the redheaded stepchild. Poor Tate. And I was supposed to be on a meeting with him for 2 weeks, and dude, I have not got an extra spare minute to jump on and do it. And I try to get my undivided attention when I commit to something like that, and I haven't had the undivided attention to give to him. So I love you to death.
We all get a little bit of divided attention from Dustin.
I know. I don't see Tate and Trout on that schedule. Talking about Trello, that's hilarious.
We start a little justice for Tatum. Little hashtag justice for Tatum.
Justice for Tatum. Meeting for Tatum. Justice for Madison.
It never dies.
Come here, Mike. They want to see you. I think he's on the phone. He's trying to ignore me. He's
not even on the phone. He's just, one sec.
Yeah.
He's got to be done with his podcast soon.
I know one thing. It's lunchtime. I'm starving. All right, I'm out of hot tamales. So
there you go. This show is sponsored by Hot Tamales today.
Yes, absolutely. All right, man. Good talk as always. I appreciate you. And I guess we will jump off of here and do it again next week.
We'll see you next week. I don't know where and when, but we'll see you next week.
Next week is next week's the day after 4th of July. So
it is.
It's July the 5th. Are we gonna have a show?
Of course.
Of course we're gonna have a show. Of course we're gonna have a show. Hey, Mike, they want you to come over here and say hey. You won't be able to hear him. Here he goes.
He's just gonna pop in. There he is. There.
You can't hear him.
Mike.
He said hey. Hey.
He didn't want to join us today.
No, he didn't. I asked him. No. He's like, no. He said you didn't want to join us. Greetings, gentlemen. No Mike today. So I thought that he missed you.
Yeah,
I tried.
There's no effort.
He tried not to.
He tried everything he could to sit on the other side of the room.
All right, I'm jumping off. See y'all. See you next week.
See you guys next week.